What's up YouTube, Speedy Superior here once again with another set, this time on Rampardos. I got Rampardos' idea from a subscriber that commented back on the Skarmory video. So thank you for the suggestion, and this is the Rampardos set that I run currently. The first one is the one I run, and the other two are ones that I considered in the past whenever I played X and Y. So, just getting through this set, I decided to go with Adamant Nature, and the reason being that at first I used to think that Rampardos could be fast, but when looking at its speed, it's 58 base, and then you look at Sylveon's and it's like 60. I always compare the speed to Sylveon, because Sylveon being slow Pokemon, it's like a 60 base, and then Sylveon is like faster than Rampardos. So, you obviously know that Rampardos will work best in a Trick Room team, and because it does have a 165 base attack. That's an amazing attack, actually. I believe that's like a Mega Bayonet base attack. So, and it has a 97 base hit points, and then it has 60 defense and 50 special defense. So, it's not really good in those areas, even though the design of it looks like it would be defensive when it really isn't. And obviously we know it's never going to be a special attacker due to the 65 base. A special attack is not going to hit hard enough. So, just getting started, I decided to go with a Life Orb on it so it gets extra power and the 165 gets boosted. And if you didn't know, its hidden ability is Sheer Force, meaning that any attack that has a secondary effect will be removed and for more damage, 1.3 more damage. So, that's the Rampardos ability and item, and I looked at the sets and moves I run and stuff, so I decided to give it Iron Head. Iron Head, having a secondary effect of flinching, it has the 80 base power, is going to be boosted by Sheer Force and Life Orb. So that's going to be doing a lot of damage. Then you have Crunch, having the secondary effect of lowering the defense, 80 base power again, and boosted by both ability and item. And Rock Slide being a stab move, and the flinch as secondary effect, 75 base power, boosted by both ability and item as well. Fire Punch, having a 75 base power, same power as Rock Slide, with secondary effect of burn, gets removed for more power. That's pretty much how Sheer Force works. And let's see, you could teach it the elemental punches through Rampardos. It just depends on which punch do you need on Rampardos. So I gave it Fire Punch, the reason being that there's always a Scizor, or there's always Ferrothorn or Skarmory that really you wouldn't be doing much damage to them if you don't have Fire Punch. You could have Thunder Punch for Skarmory, but you need something for the Ferrothorn and Scizor, because you're not going to be hitting them much. So Fire Punch would be hitting them pretty hard because it's very boosted and stuff. So that's the first set for Rampardos. I think this one is really well whenever you have a Trick Room, so I would recommend teaming it up with either Slowking or Slowbro to set up a Trick Room, or if you want a neutral type Pokemon, Porygon 2, but Porygon 2 is less recommended, the reason being that Rampardos is weak to fighting, and Porygon 2 is also weak to fighting, so that just there you have like two weaknesses to fighting. So I would rather recommend going for Slowking or Slowbro to set up a Trick Room, since they don't really have much common weaknesses altogether. So, other than the grass weakness that they both share, you could also go for maybe Aromatisse, if that's how you pronounce, and set up a Trick Room, even though they both share a steel weakness. It's because Rampardos just has a lot of weaknesses to say. But just moving on to the next set. Next set is the Focus Sash Mold Breaker set, and this one I wouldn't go for a Jolly Nature to increase the speed because there's no use. I've done a full invested Sylveon, and even there Sylveon isn't fast enough unless you're setting up a Trick Room. So I would rather just invest everything on HP and attack, and defenses you could, if you want to invest half and half in between one of the defenses and your hit points, because you can't invest too small on the HP either, but you gotta invest in your defense as well. But you also want your attack to be as high as possible, since it is a pretty high attack. So Adamant again, same AV spread. Focus Sash, Mold Breaker, obviously, Mold Breaker will ignore the sturdy ability Pokemon and the levitating and flying type Pokemon. So meaning like Skarmory, Earthquake would be hitting Skarmory, but Earthquake wouldn't be hitting Skarmory as much because Skarmory itself is pretty defensive, so you always have Fire Punch right there for it. And that's how pretty much Mold Breaker works. So we have, obviously what I just mentioned, we have Earthquake, and I also mentioned that we have Fire Punch. And then we have Superpower over here. I know the Superpower lowers your attack and defense by 1 stage, but I mean it has 120 base power and 100% accuracy. And you shouldn't worry about being knocked out easily unless you're up against a Ferrothorn and you're gonna get hit by the iron bars, because you are going to be making contact. So using Superpower would be hitting a lot of Pokemon pretty hard. And that's pretty much that. And then there's Stone Edge, which has 100 base power and 80 base accuracy. But if you don't want Stone Edge, you can always just go for either Rock Slide or you go for Head Smash. Head Smash has 150 base power, 80% accuracy, but has half of your health recoil. But I just recommended Stone Edge for this one because it does have a high critical hit ratio, so you really want that. And it's really good to have that sometimes, especially whenever critical hits can be very rare. In my side, critical hits is like very rare, and sometimes I get really lucky. So that's pretty much that. And then the third set for Rampardos is an Adamant Focus Sash again Mold Breaker. And this time it's basically almost like a Suicide Rampardos, but you have Focus Sash. And it's full invested in attack, 200 on defense, and just 56 on hit points. And obviously Head Smash, Iron Head, and then Headbutt, and Earthquake. And you can always change either one of these moves for any other move because it does get Dragon Tail. It also gets Brick Break. It does get Avalanche, gets Hammer Arm in case you wanted to change it to that. Also, if you want a Dragon move, you can always change it to Outrage and put it on Rampardos. You just gotta watch out for the fairies. It does get Thrash. It also gets Toxic Whirlwind. It gets all those type of good moves and stuff that you may want on a Pokemon. So it all just depends on what you really want. But these are the moves I recommend on this third set because of the Head Smash move that there is. So, and if for the EV spread, obviously you can change it the way you want. If you want more investment in HP and you believe that it's not really worth it investing in the defenses, the reason being that the defenses are so low, it's fine. It looks like Rampardos wasn't meant to be very defensive to start with. It wasn't meant to be fast either. It's just meant to be like a Pokemon that's just going to come in with a Focus Sash, hit pretty hard, and then just die off its own move. That's what Rampardos looks like to me. And I really hope you enjoyed this set. And give it a thumbs up if you did. Give Rampardos a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. There's more future videos and there's so many plans and more equipment coming onto the channel real soon. And thank you again and stay tuned.